All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem Arakakodash. A double honors unto the elders and apostles of GMS Great Millstone. And a sincere Shalom to Yaki in bringing out this word in diligence and in truth. And this lesson is coming off the inspiration of, it's this World Star video that I was just watching. And it was talking about a rail gun, and I was looking at it like, what? Like, it just piqued my interest. But then, they soon started talking about the waster, man. As the scripture describes it, the waster to destroy, or the weapons of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai's indignation, man. So that's what it turned to. And I wanna play this specific part, because this is what sparked. Let's go. And that's what sparked it right there. The route data is programmed into the missile before it's launched. And we understand that Yahweh Bashim Yahushai is making sure that these weapons are perfected. This is going into the book of Psalm 7. And I'll start here at 12. If he turn not, he will whet his sword. He hath bent his bow and made it ready. Now let's go into that word wet. Because that's wet is W-H-E-T, right? It says H39:13, latas. It says to sharpen, to hammer, to wet, to be sharpened. And we understand what the scripture says in the book of, I believe it's Proverbs, the 22nd verse. It's like a 22nd chapter. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go to that after. It says wet, to sharpen, to make sharpen. Let's see, to sharpen by hammering, or basically to perfect, man. To forge, let's see. Oops, here we go. Let's look into that word wet. To sharpen, to incite. Let's see. It says to make more keen or more acute, right? To quicken. Let's see if there's any more on it. Look up. It says wet, to sharpen, to stimulate, to hone, to grind, to file, to activate. Let's see if there's any more. To excite or stimulate. And I'm going to get back to it after this. To sharpen or to make keen. Now, I want to look up that word keen. It says keen, prudent, intelligence, skilled, obscure, right? Wet, to sharpen, man. But Yahweh Bashim is to sharpen these missiles, and he's making them, he's perfecting them, man. He's perfecting these weapons, and because you can't physically sharpen an ICBM, man. You can't physically sharpen, a missile. So you do it by perfecting the technology, or tightening the technology within it, so that it meets the qualifications of what you deem is acceptable destruction. It says, if he turn not, he will whet his sword. He hath bent his bow and made it ready. He hath also prepared for him the instruments of death. He ordaineth his arrows against the persecutors. And when you read this in the NIV, it says, if he does not relent, he will sharpen his sword. He will bend and string his bow. He has prepared his deadly weapons. He makes ready his flaming arrows. And that's exactly what Yahweh Shem Yahushua is doing, man. He's preparing those flaming arrows for what? For the destruction in which he's about to bring unto Esau, man. See, when we go here, Salakia, trying to find it. Sword. Is it Ezekiel? I believe it's Ezekiel. Salakia. Yeah, kind of Ezekiel 21. Salakia. This is Ezekiel 21 and 9. Matter of fact, I'm gonna start here at 8. It says, again, the word of Yahweh Shem Yahushua came unto me, saying, Son of man, prophesy and say, thus saith the Lord, say, a sword is sharpened and also furbished. It is sharpened to make a sore slaughter. It is furbished that it may glitter, right? So it's wet, right? It's being wet, because that's what the word sharpened means, right? It is sharpened to make a sore slaughter. It is furbished that it may glitter. Should we then make mirth? It contemneth the rod of my son as every tree, and he hath given it to be furbished, that it may be handled. This sword is sharpened, and it is furbished to give it into the hand of the slayer. So Yahweh Shem Yahushua is perfecting these weapons and bringing them down, bringing them up to his his level of perfection in order to destroy, man. Now, the part I'm gonna replay it a little bit. Right here. It's like. Bam. Now, what does the scripture say about this? The scripture tells us plainly that they shall not what? That they shall not break rank. Going into the book of Joel 2. And I'm going to start here at 3. It says, the fire devoureth before them, and behind them a flame burneth. The land is as the garden of Eden before them, and behind them a desolate wilderness. Yea, and nothing shall escape them. The appearance of them is as the appearance of horses, and as horsemen show, so shall they run, right? And the appearance of horses goes into power, man, you know? And it says a fire devoureth before them, right? Because we understand that the power of these missiles, these ICBMs, is within the warhead, man, within the head of the missile. That's where the destruction comes from. And behind them a flame burneth, which is plain. The propulsion from the fuel. It says the land is as the Garden of Eden before them, right? It's seen as a place of paradise. America is seen as a place of paradise, a land flowing with opportunity, as they say, right? It says, and behind them a desolate wilderness, right? Because that's going to be the effect of these missiles hitting this place, man. That's why the scripture says, after the destruction, the desert creature shall dwell there, man. You know, the owl, the cormorant. You know, the I believe it says the dragons, you know, going into the desert creatures. It says, yea, and nothing shall escape them. The appearance of them is as the appearance of horses, and as horsemen so shall they run, right? Because the power in which these nukes come with is going to bring a vibration as stampede like, so to speak, man. It says, like the noise of chariots on the top of mountains shall they leap, like the noise of a flame of fire that devoureth the stubble, as a strong people set in battle array. And that's not physically talking about a army of men. That's not what this scripture is talking about. This scripture is going into the formation of the missiles, in which Yahweh Shem Yahushua are going to have sent over here, man. You know? It says, before their face, their people shall be much pain. All faces shall gather blackness. They shall run like mighty men. They shall climb the wall like men of war, and they shall march everyone on his ranks. It's like on his ways, and they shall not break their ranks, right? So that terracom that he just mentioned, that terracom that was just mentioned are the globe positioning systems, or the GPS coordinates for every missile to hit their designated mark, man. That's scriptural. So they will not break their ranks, man. They're not going to be bumping into each other in the air and exploding. Next thing you know, they all explode in the air. No, man. They're going to hit exactly the place in which Yahweh Shem Yahshua is designated for these missiles to hit. Because ultimately, the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahshua is going to be in those missiles, man. No missile defense system is going to be able to stop it. It says, neither shall one thrust another. That's there right there. They're not going to bump into each other and blow up. They shall walk everyone in his path. That path is that trajectory, man. Exactly the path and movement Yahweh Shem Yahshua wants them to reach in order to hit their exact target. If Babylon Sin City has 100, 150, 200, 300 nukes that's supposed to hit this place, guess what? That number of nukes is going to destroy this city, man. Because we understand, the country, of the U.S. is going to be destroyed, right? It says, neither Babylon the Great is going to be destroyed, man. It says, neither shall one thrust another. They shall walk everyone in his path. And when they fall upon the sword, they shall not be wounded. They shall run to and fro in the city. They shall run upon the wall. They shall climb up upon the houses. They shall enter in at the windows like a thief. The earth shall quake before them. Going back into that stampede. And we also understand the impact of these nukes. The scriptures say the earth is going to shake to and fro like a drunkard. It says the earth shall quake before them. The heavens shall tremble. The sun and moon shall be dark. And the stars shall withdraw their shining. Right? The scripture also tells you that the smoke of their torment burneth forever. And the Lord shall utter his voice before his army, for his camp is very great, for he is strong that executeth his word. For the day of the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua is great and very terrible. Who can abide it, man? And as you see here, they're showing forth the power of the Lord, man. He's allowed Esau to create these weapons in order to destroy himself. See, that's why when we go back into the book of Psalm 7, matter of fact, I'm going to go back there just to prove it. Psalm 7, and this is (15). Yep. It says he made a pit and digged it and is fallen into the ditch which he made. See, ultimately Esau believes that, he came up with the nukes in order to be a bully and, flex his muscle towards these nations. And if anybody has anything they were trying to do to America to take them out of that power seat, he will use that weapon against them to basically control and dominate, man. But ultimately, what the true purpose of Yahweh Shem Yahshua is the Lord had Esau create, as the scriptures say, the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire. The modern day smith is your scientist, right? He's had Esau create these weapons in order to destroy himself. Because the scripture is going to tell you in 16, it says his mischief shall return upon his own head, meaning what is going to return to him, and his violent dealing shall come down upon his own pate. When you read the NIV, it says the trouble they cause recoils on them. Their violence come down on their own heads, right? Because the rest of these nations have now this technology, which they're going to shoot off into this place, man. And the scriptures say 200,000, man. So that's what's going to be let off. And as you see, the missiles are going to hit their designated targets, man. So Lord willing, this lesson was edifying unto the body. I want to give all praises, glory, and honor unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem Arakakwadash. A double honors unto the elders and apostles of GMS Great Millstone. And a sincere shalom to Yakim, bringing out these words, this truth, Salaki, in spirit and in truth. Shalom.